points with 3. He also has 2 blocks, and Jabari Walker has 2 points in 7 minutes. Anthony Davis leads the Lakers in scoring with 13 points. All right, let's take a break. Coming up next.
Away from the game today. He could walk straight into Canton.
Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-351-4242. 800-351-4242. 800-351-4242. Goodbye, guys.
You're listening to 1050 ESPN, your home for New York Islanders hockey. WEPN, New York, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
On SportsCenter all night. With a Super Bowl MVP, Patrick Mahomes rank among all-time quarterbacks.
If he walked away from the game today, he could walk straight into Canton as a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he's absolutely already a top 3 to 4 quarterback of all time if he stopped playing right now.
What's next for the Philadelphia Eagles?
Lamar Jackson was looking for $235 million. We all sat up there and said, well, at least $200 million. And that means Jalen Hurts deserves at least $200 million.
A night around the association.
Here's James back down low, left-hand layup. Largest scoring machine in this game.
Plus, we continue to break down Super Bowl 57.
I personally, at that moment, no, I did not like the call.
This is SportsCenter all night. Here's Jay Reynolds.
The GOAT just retired. Are we starting the conversation over already? SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM, Channel 80. NBA trade deadline hit with a flourish last week. Phoenix making major noise in the West. Kevin Durant practicing for the first time with the Suns. Lakers getting some new pieces in the house. And in Dallas, Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving now paired up with the Mavs. Dallas losing its first game with the two of them on the floor together over the weekend. Monday, hosting the Timberwolves, and it's a game that Minnesota would lead by as much as 26. But then came the fourth quarter, Kyrie's quarter.
Doncic puts it in Luka's hands. He's feeling it. He's playing against Edwards now. To his right, between his legs left. Trying to turn the corner. Couldn't do it. Had it knocked away. Got it back. Now into a double team with Anderson. Backdoor finds Pinson. Spinning, missed the layup. The rebound underneath. Put up and in by Erling. Right place, right time, Kyrie. He's got 33. Irving to his left. Knocked away by Edwards. Irving got it back. Irving in the lane. And finds Ntilikina at the right wing for 3. That's no good. Green the rebound. Out to Irving for 3. Good! With 27.8 seconds, it's a 2-point game.
That bucket not only bringing Dallas within 2, it gives Kyrie 26 points for the quarter. Closing seconds. Timberwolves now up by 3. Mavs with the ball and a chance to tie.
Doncic picks it up with 10 seconds. Cross-court Irving on the move. Pumps can't shoot. Right to Luka. Back to Kyrie. Fakes, fly by. And then to the right. Oh, lost the ball. And it's picked up by Prince. And that'll do it. The game is over. And once again, almost incredibly, the Mavericks unable to get a shot at the rim.
Irving and Doncic playing a little hot potato back and forth between each other in the closing seconds. Neither of them taking the shot. And they wound up not getting a shot at all. As for the chemistry,
it feels great. I just think we got to get more timely stops and take care of a few possessions that could go either way. We're playing in this Western Conference, as I'm learning. There's a lot of physicality. There are a lot of players that go get buckets, but towards the end of the game, it's just about will and body positioning and doing the little things to get you a win. So offensive rebound down the stretch too, man, just crucial. That's all.
And then came that final possession where they didn't even get a shot off.
Man, I'm still trying to emotionally recover, man. Goodness, still so raw. Oh, man. I would have liked to at least get a shot up. Obviously, with Luka taking it in the backcourt, kind of on that steal attempt, it messed up our spacing a bit. We were going for a quick 2. That was the plan. It didn't end up going that way, and I should have just gave Luka a little bit more spacing. And then I thought I had a shot attempt on the second. It's just end of the clock, and adrenaline's running high. Anything could happen. So I got to get a shot up, if anything, or allow Luka to have some space to get a shot and not turn the ball over in that situation. So it's on me to be smarter in those situations. But if we look at the overall game, I'm just grateful we were even in that position. We scored 39 in the fourth. I gave ourselves a chance, and that's all we can ask for. At the end of the game, it's just about execution.
Kyrie Irving and the Mavericks fall by 3 to the Timberwolves, 124-121, as you heard on 97-1 the Eagle. Kyrie finishes the game with an impressive stat line, 36 points in the loss. Of those 36 points, 26 of them came in the fourth quarter, most he's ever had in a quarter in his career. He outscored the Timberwolves himself, 26-24 in that fourth quarter, most points in a fourth quarter by a Mavericks player since Dirk Nowitzki in 2009. With 33 in the loss. Anthony Edwards had 32 in the win for the Timberwolves as Minnesota wins it by 3. Fourth quarter was Kyrie's time in Dallas. Almost got them all the way back. Almost always seems to be game time for Portland.
While they're at it, can they hit some more threes? Lillard takes the ball down the left side into the lane, put it up and in. Damian Lillard. Lillard now with 40 points.
Rip City Radio, 620. Dame Lillard, his 11th 40-point game this season, tying Luka Doncic and Giannis Antetokounmpo for the most by any player this season. Blazers, a 127-115 win over the Lakers. 30 of Lillard's points coming in the first half, tied for the most he's had in a regular season game in the first half. 4 30-point halves this season. Blazers making 17 of their 23 three-pointers in the first half, most in a half in franchise history. As for the Lakers, they dropped to 5-9 in games where LeBron James misses the game. They're 21-23 when he plays. LeBron James missing a third consecutive game on Monday. Warriors, a 135-126 win over the Wizards. Golden State, first team in NBA history to record 23 pointers and 40 assists in multiple games in a season. 40 assists in a game for the third time this season. No other team has done it more than once. Warriors have done it 3 times. In Miami, Nuggets visiting the Heat.
He gets a pitch from Nikola Jokic, throws it off over to Joker behind the free throw line. Guarded by Adebayo, puts it on the floor, backs down Adebayo, beat him off, the layup is up and in. You just can't stop him. 110-104.
Altitude Radio Network. Nikola Jokic hitting 12 of his 14 shots from the floor, and the Nuggets beat the Heat 112-108. Jokic finishes with 27 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists. 2 assists shy of another triple-double, but it is the 5th time this season he's led the team in points, rebounds, assists, and field goal percentage. 5th time this season, most in the NBA. As for the Heat, 11 straight games decided by single digits, tied for their second longest streak in franchise history. The people affected by the Turkey earthquake need your help. Please visit redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross respond. Your donation enables the Red Cross to prepare for, respond to, and help people recover from this disaster and will provide people in communities affected with food, shelter, relief supplies, recovery planning support, and other assistance. redcross.org/ESPN. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio.
The Chiefs are champions of Super Bowl 57.
You're in the Super Bowl. You can worry about getting it healthy in the off season. So I just kind of fought through, and we were able to win the game.
It's the best feeling in the world, man. And I'll tell you what, I don't know how many I got left, but I'm sure going to cherish this one forever.
Everything we worked for is for this moment. You have to enjoy this moment. You can't let the moment overtake you.
I wanted this one more than I ever wanted a game ever in my life.
I mean, if there was any doubters left, there shouldn't be now.
Kansas City reveling in another Super Bowl championship. Chiefs rallying from down 10 at the half to win by 3, courtesy of the game-winning field goal with 8 seconds to go. Kansas City had 4 possessions in the second half, 3 touchdowns, and the game-winning field goal. The comeback reminded Tom Brady of the rally that he and the Patriots had against Atlanta in Super Bowl 51.
I was like, there's no way the Chiefs have a chance. And then here you come out in the second half, and they went, I think, touchdown, field goal or something like that. And, it turned into like this epic second half when you didn't think they had much of a chance to win. And that's just how the games go. It's even in our Atlanta Super Bowl against Atlanta when we were down 28-3. I mean, we basically couldn't do anything right for 2.5 quarters and really then couldn't do anything wrong for a quarter and a half. Amazing how that game is. And it's almost like 2 separate games. There's a first half and there's a second half that are normal just halves, but because the length of the day, it does happen quite a bit where, one team plays incredibly well in one half and the next team plays incredibly well in the other. So it was a really, kind of played to the script.
Brady on the Let's Go podcast. Brady, of course, announcing his retirement in the lead up to the Super Bowl, retiring as the GOAT. But now, where does Patrick Mahomes rank after picking up his second ring this weekend with another MVP season and another Super Bowl MVP? Earlier on ESPN Radio, our Harry Douglas.
I think he's only trailing Tom Brady at this moment.
Does Peyton Manning not exist? Does Peyton Manning not exist in this conversation anymore? Like you're saying, and by the way, Joe Montana never.
He's not trailing Peyton Manning either.
Oh my God, Joe Montana never threw an interception in any Super Bowl. So I'm supposed to sit here on the Michael Jordan LeBron debate and say that Michael never lost one, and that's the reason that he's higher. Well, Joe Montana never lost a Super Bowl, never even had a Super Bowl turnover.
Let me ask you a question. If you had to do a draft, you're drafting Joe Montana or you're drafting Patrick Mahomes? Who you drafting?
Well, I mean, I'm probably drafting Patrick Mahomes, but,
okay.
It's
my case rest.
Okay, well, it's a different world.
And Joe Montana is now 66. So there's that. Fitz and Harry, weekdays here on ESPN Radio. On Canty and Carlin.
I don't know that we've ever seen this before. Not just starting your career this way, but if he walked away from the game today, he could walk straight into Canton as a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he's absolutely already a top 3 to 4 quarterback of all time if he stopped playing right now.
Our Chris Carlin earlier on Canty and Carlin. In the wake of the Super Bowl, certainly a lot of conversations about where Mahomes ranks now, but let's pump the brakes to the guys at PTI.
All right, Wilbon, is Patrick Mahomes having the greatest start to an NFL career ever? No. Go ahead, take it.
No. Yeah. You don't have to rush people. Just chill. Just calm down. He may get there. He may get there for the whole, forget the start. He may be there in 3 or 4 years the way he's going. And if that team is able to sort of stay current, even losing people, you lose people. People are free agents. They get traded. They get hurt. They underperform, whatever. And Mahomes and Kansas City keep going. He'll get there. But he's not ahead of Troy Aikman, who won 3 Super Bowls in his first 7 years. He's not ahead of Tom Brady, who won 3 in his first 5. He's not even ahead really of Big Ben, who won 2 in his first 5. Terry Bradshaw won 2 in his first 6. John Elway got to 5 Super Bowls, and he got to 3 of them with no team. So let's not rewrite history. Let's pay attention to something other than TikTok and today's research package and really look at the landscape of great quarterbacks over time.
So I'm going to count all the years in the league and go through this list again. Bradshaw, 2 wins in his first 6 years. Brady, 3 wins in his first 6 years in the league. Montana, 2 wins in his first 6 years in the league. Mahomes, 2 wins in his first 6 years in the league. Okay, so it's not the greatest because people have done the same thing, and some people have done better. Otto Graham, who nobody remembers, Graham won 5 titles in the league in his first 5 years. So that's the greatest start of all time. It's Otto Graham. But people say, well, who's Otto Graham? He couldn't have been any good because I don't see video on him. Right, on TikTok, next to the cat that plays the piano.
Right, on TikTok.
No, I mean, Mahomes is a great player. He's the greatest football player on the planet. Let's slow down, Sparky. Let's just slow down a little bit.
Yeah. You don't have to make declarations the morning after every football game, which is where the culture has gone. This network leading the way. You don't. You can watch it and enjoy and just say, my God, Patrick Mahomes is great. Can we marvel at him? By the way, Jalen Hurts may have had a better guy, and I know he coughed one up, and that's why, you can't say he had an absolute better game. But wow, he was great yesterday. And there are a lot of great quarterbacks out there, and Patrick Mahomes vaults himself to the top of the list. But not today, people. Not today. That's it. We're done. Back to you.
Mahomes, great quarterback, and certainly had a very good weekend in Arizona. Well, we've got a shakeup at the top of college basketball. That's next. Sports Center All Night continues. It's ESPN Radio.
Coming up Tuesday, the King broke the scoring record, but we haven't seen him since, getting booed at the Super Bowl. What's going on with his foot? That's Tuesday, 6 a.m. Eastern on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
This is Sports Center All Night.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. A Jacuzzi bath system fits in your existing tub space. It's a no-mess installation with an amazing style selection, factory-certified installers, and a limited lifetime warranty. Call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599 right now and get 50% off installation with no interest and no payments for 12 months. Replace that old bathtub today with a walk-in shower for a safer bathing experience. If you have lived in your home for over 15 years, it's time to remodel your bathroom. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599. 800-717-4599.
You can't miss a moment with Greeny.
If you're Aaron Rodgers, when you emerge from that dark room in which he is sitting and someone gets word to you, hey, the Jets have the best offensive and defensive rookies in the sport, and they can afford you. That's a pretty attractive little combination there. That is a great day to be a Jet fan yesterday.
Greeny, weekday mornings at 10 a.m. right here on 98.7 ESPN.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-885-9922. 800-885-9922. That's 800-885-9922.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing and me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new play. Nothing is every day.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
This week on RVER, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
The new doctor is drop dead gorgeous.
Please, he's just another RV League educated surgeon with good hair.
No, he's different.
Nurses, we got a Class C motorhome with a detached driver's side mirror. Meet me in the OR. Stat.
Right away, doctor.
No, she's on break. I'll handle this one.
Oh, you conniving little...
When your RV really needs saving, Progressive has you covered. See if you could save with a leader in RV insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, covered subject to policy terms.
The biggest names, the biggest games. They're all right here. This is 1050 ESPN, New York.
Sports Center All Night continues with Jay Reynolds.
They just keep beating themselves up. Sports Center All Night, ESPN Radio, and the ESPN app. Shake up in the college rankings this week. Alabama, the new #1, rising to the top spot in the AP men's poll for the first time in 20 years. Houston moves up into the #2 spot. Purdue, which had been #1, lost to Northwestern over the weekend, which helped shake things up this week. Boilermakers now sitting at #3. UCLA and Kansas rounding out the top 5 in the AP poll. Texas at #6, finding itself in Big 12 trouble on Big Monday.
Harmon, Amac, fakes left, drives right. Alley-oop, down, Kevin O'Banner brings the house straight to its knees. 6-point lead, timeout Texas. Oh my goodness.
Demarion Williams gets it inbounded to Davion Harmon, who goes almost into the backcourt. Davion, you're almost in the backcourt. Davion, you're almost in the backcourt. Here we go. 9 on the shot clock. Drives it with the right. Gets it to the window. Layup up and in.
There we go. Texas Tech with the lead throughout the evening against Texas. And in the closing seconds,
Free throw. Around and out. Rebound, Jalen Tyson.
That'll do it. Good night, Texas. The Red Raiders have won 74-67. Upset City, Lubbock.
Sports, man. You never know. You just absolutely never know.
That was sounded on Learfield as Texas Tech with the 7-point win over #6 Texas. Tech is now 3-1 in its last 4 games against ranked opponents since losing its first 7 ranked games this season. Davion Harmon, career high 25 points in the win.
15, 16,000 deep, Chris. It's amazing. I'm glad I chose it. And they've chosen me, and they opened me with open arms. And the only thing I can do is just play hard for this. And it's a beautiful thing. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Texas Tech with its 3rd win against a top 15 opponent while unranked this season. Tied for the most in D1 this season with Oklahoma State and West Virginia. ESPN analysts LaFonso Ellis and Seth Greenberg.
Let me tell you something. It's hard to go on the road in the Big 12. And Texas Tech is a very good basketball team that's had to be beaten up. They took care of the basketball in the first half. They rebounded the ball. They kept Texas out of transition.
This is a team that really struggled to score the basketball on the season, but Davion Harmon came out cooking, had 21 of his 25 points in the first half alone.
You know, the quad 1 win finds. These guys can play their way into the NCAA tournament.
Come on, every team in the conference is that what we're having?
Because there's so many opportunities to get really good quality wins. You're talking about 8 teams that are almost guaranteed to go in. So great opportunities down the stretch of the conference.
And 11 non-conference wins. It's just hard to win a game in that conference. This could be their 3rd. Who knows? They can build off of this.
Speaking of that conference, #9 Baylor facing West Virginia.
Keontae George fakes his defender out of his socks, missed the shot. Long rebound, Cryer, another 3. His 8th made 3 tonight. 8 threes by Cryer.
And Baylor goes on to the 79-67 win over West Virginia. Number 9, Baylor getting the win. They've won 5 straight against West Virginia, longest winning streak since West Virginia joined the Big 12 just over a decade ago. West Virginia's lost 5 straight and 8 of its last 9. Number 15, Miami and North Carolina.
Mack has it for Miami. Dribbles hard to the right side. He's doubled. Baycott is there in the double. Long is open. Now Miller is open. Triple try. Good! Jordan Miller with a big 3. 23 and counting for Miller. Inbounds to Long. Got it. Fires short. Rebounded by Poplar. Back up and in. And a foul. Wooga Poplar, the offensive rebound. 2 for Wooga and a foul.
560 WQAM as number 15 Miami wins it 80-72 over UNC for Miami. First win in Chapel Hill since 2018. Jordan Miller, 24 points and 11 rebounds in the win for the Hurricanes.
Jordan, congratulations on the win. They cut it to 5 with 1:10 left and then stretched out the ending of the game. How did you all hang on to get the win?
Yeah, we just had to battle through adversity. You know, we've been in this spot before during the season, and, you know, I think it showed a lot of grit for this team tonight.
Okay, and then I have to ask you, I know you had 24 points, and I saw at least 3 spin moves in tonight's game. Where does that footwork come from?
I just try to be crafty, you know what I mean? Any way I can get a bucket, you know, I just try to find a way. Obviously, my teammates do a good job getting me the ball, too, so, you know.
And as for the ACC, UNC losing again, teams like Carolina, Clemson, what are their outlooks for the tournament? ESPN bracketologist Joe Lenardi.
I think when you look at the two of them, Kentucky's losses are actually a little bit worse than Carolina's. They do have the big win over Tennessee, but we're missing the point in going in the weeds on that because these are two teams that we thought and everyone thought could play for a national championship. And now the exacta of both of them potentially missing the tournament, that's almost unthinkable to me.
Kentucky, Carolina could be missing out. Clemson, squarely on the bubble as well. A lot of work to be done between now and March. Straight ahead, should it have been a flag? Sports Center All Night continues. It's ESPN Radio.
Hey, it's Greeny and Tuesday. We are still looking back on the Super Bowl. And the question is this, as a fan, would you rather your team not make it at all than get there and lose? We'll talk about it at Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the ECA, you could pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-685-4718 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-685-4718. That's 800-685-4718. What do you have to lose? Call 800-685-4718. Again, 800-685-4718.
The Michael K. Show is on.
Nick Friedel.
The Nets, even a few weeks ago, still thought they could make a legit run at a title. And now today, having moved Kevin Durant right after moving Kyrie Irving and realizing they are back at square one is almost hard to believe for any other team. In the end, once they moved Kyrie, that Kevin knew that this team was no longer good enough.
Don't miss the Michael K. Show. Weekdays at 3 on 98.7 ESPN.
Anyone who has ever needed self-storage knows what a hassle it can be. You have to rent or borrow a truck and then find someone to help you move your stuff. And let's face it, moving furniture and heavy items without damaging them isn't easy. Renting the unit is worse. The hidden fees and admin costs are scarier than the dingy facilities you're leaving your stuff in. Why not use ClosetBox instead? ClosetBox is self-storage without leaving home. They'll pick up your belongings, store them securely, and bring any item back when you need it. The best part? Unlike traditional self-storage, you only pay for what you store. No paying for for unused storage space. Closet Box's background check storage movers are licensed, bonded, and insured and will take care of all of the heavy lifting. Closet Box's local storage centers are temperature controlled and monitored 24/7. Closet Box has an A+ rating from the BBB. Call 877-233-5696 now for the season's best rates. Get $50 off first month storage using code RADIO50. That's 877-233-5696. 877-233-5696.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The ESPN New York app is here.
Aloha, Nick.
Aloha, guys, but I have downloaded the app. So now I'm a fully app official out here in Hawaii.
Listen in Hawaii. Listen wherever. We don't care. Take us everywhere. Plus, you can download all your favorite 98.7 exclusive podcasts like Game Misconduct, Flight Deck, and Breaking Big Blue. The ESPN New York app. Available now on the App Store and Google Play. Just download the app for instant enjoyment. The all-new Weekend Wager comes to 98.7 ESPN on Friday nights at 10 p.m. It's presented by BetMGM Sports. Don't be left out of the action.
Sports Center All Night continues with Jay Reynolds.
Sports Center All Night presented by Progressive Insurance. Save on commercial auto insurance from Progressive. Get a fast quote at progressivecommercial.com.
Half-hour headlines on Sports Center All Night.
Damian Lillard with 40 in Portland's win over the Lakers Monday. Kyrie Irving with 36, including 26 in the fourth quarter, but Dallas falls short against Minnesota. Number 6, Texas falls to Texas Tech, and they're still celebrating in Kansas City.
And the Kansas City Chiefs have won another Super Bowl.
It always hurts, right? Anytime you don't come out on top, it hurts. We'll use this pain, we'll use this failure for motivation for us.
You either win or you learn. That's how I feel. You either win or you learn.
Really happy for Trav. He played his ass off. That team deserves everything they had.
It is a tough feeling to come up short. It's a very tough feeling.
Super Bowl on Sunday, third most watched television show in history. An estimated 113 million people watching the Chiefs rally in the second half to beat the Eagles. Fox saying on Monday the preliminary numbers include broadcasts on Fox as well as Fox Deportes as well as streaming as well. Final data will be available on Tuesday. Rihanna's halftime show averaged 118, almost 119 million. So more people actually watched the halftime than averaged the actual game. A lot of people, though, have seen the play down the stretch.
Mahomes will be in the shotgun. McKinnon is the running back. Shaded to the short side of the field. That's the near side hash to the right side. Smith-Schuster in motion left. They try to run a pivot route that way. Now a fade left side. It'll be overthrown. And a flag on the play. Is this going to be a late hit on the Eagles? If it is, it'll be... No, it's on the Chiefs maybe. They're going to say holding on.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 24, defense.
Automatic first down.
Juju Smith.
And the hold was on James Bradbury.
Bradbury, after the game, as we've heard, said, yep, it was a hold. He was kind of hoping they'd overlook it, but he said it was a penalty. The Eagles, to a man, saying it's not one call that settles the Super Bowl. Earlier on KJM, R.J. Williams
I wish that fans would actually try to take a class and make these real, like, in-game decisions on the fly. Like, I know that we have 9,000 cameras and that we'll come back and we'll review every single call. And then we wanted to always talk about the one call that refs didn't get right. Nobody wants to praise the refs for all the calls they got right. You just kill them for the one they got wrong. And now suddenly we have a ref problem. Like, I see it in the NBA and in the NFL. Come on, man.
Chiefs got a fresh set of downs there. They ran the clock down as far as they could. They kicked what turned out to be the game-winning field goal with 8 seconds to go, and the Eagles had a couple of seconds with which to work, but couldn't do anything. Earlier on ESPN Radio, our Freddie Coleman.
They had a 10-point lead at halftime of 24-14, and they couldn't stop Patrick Mahomes. They couldn't stop that offense. I'll say this. You can feel any way you want. If you think it should have been called, should not have been called, ticky-tack, whatever that is. I'm good with it. The one part that bothered me about the narrative, this robbed us of Jalen Hurts. Nothing robbed you of Jalen Hurts by that call. You want to blame somebody for robbing you of Jalen Hurts trying to tie the game or win the ball game? How about that defense didn't stop Patrick Mahomes? Had more than enough opportunities to do so and didn't.
A holding call coming on 3rd and 8 play. ESPN analyst Herm Edwards says, look at the play.
It was one of those situations where the officials are calling the game. They're watching this game unfold. It's 3rd and 8, and Bradbury is covering man-to-man. They run a return route. In other words, they come in and go back out. And Bradbury grabs it. But did it really affect the play a whole lot? I don't think so, but I do know this. If he just would have understood the down and the distance, it's 3rd and 8. The route was run at 2 yards. Worst case scenario, if he runs away from him, you tackle him, and it's 4th and 6. You didn't really have to hold. But the situation, all of a sudden you want to grab the guy because he's got a little leverage running back outside. If you just tackle him, it's a 2-yard route.
Tackle him after the catch.
He's going to catch it.
Yeah.
It's a 2-yard route. They got to kick a field goal. It's 4th and 6.
3rd and 8 play, short route for the receiver. And Herm Edwards says just tackle him. It's still 4th down anyway, even without the holding. And, of course, from the other side of the coin, if they don't flag the penalty and the Eagles turn around and ultimately win the game with a touchdown at the other end, and you can make the same argument from the other side. Why didn't they make that call? Because it cost, in this case, it would have cost the Chiefs the game had that scenario played out. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio. Chiefs do win Super Bowl 57. Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl MVP, winds up going to Disneyland the day after the Super Bowl. You've seen the commercials. And from Disneyland, he joined Canty and Carlin here on ESPN Radio.
As promised, the MVP of Super Bowl 57 is with us. It's Canty and Carlin on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Patrick Mahomes joins us right now from Disneyland. And my guess is you probably have not slept yet, Patrick. Congratulations. We appreciate the time. Have you gotten a chance to close your eyes for a few minutes as of yet?
Yeah, I've gotten a little bit of sleep, but it's not a lot. It's been a roller coaster ride, but we're enjoying it. My family's here at Disneyland, and it's been fun.
Well, Pat, congratulations on being named Super Bowl MVP. That's the second time you've had that honor to go along with winning the regular season MVP this year. I know a lot of people have been focusing on the penalty that was called on James Bradbury on Juju Smith-Schuster's target at the end in the red zone. But I want to ask you about the short motion that you guys utilized to exploit a tendency in the Eagles' coverage. All of the passing touchdowns came on a short motion of some sort. What was it that you saw in your film study, the breakdown, that made you guys feel like you had an opportunity to exploit the Philadelphia Eagles secondary with that short motion?
Yeah, we just took one of their strengths and kind of used it against them. They do a great job down there with people motion across the formation and try to get guys on the other side. They pass off well. They communicate well. So we utilized that to kind of to fake like we were going to do it and then break back out the other way. And they kind of got those guys where they were trying to pass it off, and all of a sudden they had the wrong guy guarding the guy that we were throwing to. Obviously, we didn't think it was going to be that open. But we thought we had a good chance to get at least a good positive play, and it worked out well for us that it worked twice, and we were able to get 2 wide open touchdowns.
Super Bowl 57 MVP Patrick Mahomes joining Canty and Carlin on ESPN Radio. Patrick, tell us about your ankle at halftime when you aggravated it and when you knew you were going to be able to come back and play and what it felt like in the second half.
Yeah, it definitely hurt when I aggravated it, but I knew I wasn't going to go out of the game. Nothing's going to keep me out of the game unless the trainers say I can't play. It definitely didn't feel good. I mean, it didn't feel good the last few weeks here. But I knew if I could just get through these games, win the Super Bowl, I'd have a good time just resting it up in the off season. So I got here now, and I'll have a long time to get it back to 100%, and then I'll be ready to go by OTAs.
Talking to Super Bowl 57 MVP Patrick Mahomes on Canty and Carlin. And Patrick, we had the opportunity to talk to your dad a couple of weeks ago, and outside of him taking the majority of the credit for all of the good things you're doing on the football field, he did make it a point to acknowledge what Alex Smith did for you during your rookie season. Can you talk to us a little bit about that and how it sets you up to have the best 6-year start to any NFL career that we've ever seen?
Yeah, I think Alex, he just taught me how to be a professional quarterback. I think a lot of young guys don't get that nowadays. How you have to go about your business, how do you have to prepare yourself in order to have success on Sundays. And Alex taught me that, and I hadn't learned any of those things, and he didn't have to teach me. I was competing to kind of for his spot. So the man that he was, man, he gave me all the keys, and I was able to utilize them to make my own game plan. And I mean, what a guy, man! I got to talk to him a little bit after the game. I mean, just a great player and a better person, and he taught me so much that helped my career kind of skyrocket the moment I stepped on the football field.
Patrick, take us through the play, the controversial play at the end with the penalty. What did you see with James Bradbury and with Juju Smith-Schuster?
Yeah, we had a little double move, kind of called up, trying to take advantage of their aggressiveness a little bit, and I went to throw the ball, and then all of a sudden, Juju wasn't there, and I had a guy in my face, so I couldn't see exactly what happened. I knew that when he came out of it, he didn't come out as fast as I thought he was going to, as we practiced, and I thought he was going to. And then as you watch throughout the film that I've seen on Twitter, at least so far, I mean, he definitely tugged him to kind of get him out of the way of where he wanted to go, and that's the reason the throw was so off target. So I'm not going to be throwing it that far off target if not a little bit of tugging going on. And you can't ask for calls or do anything like that, or ask for no calls. You just play the game, let the refs call it the best they can, and that call went our way, where I think a few other calls throughout the game went their way, and that's how football usually happens.
Had there been talk among you guys during the game about how they were calling the game?
Yeah, I mean, we know. I've played enough playoff games to know that they let a little bit more grabbing and tugging go on. I think you saw early in the game we tried to throw a ball across the middle to Juju, and they grabbed him, and they didn't call it. And I mean, it's just kind of how it plays out. I mean, sometimes they call it, sometimes you don't. And their job as a receiver is what we say is to keep fighting through it as best they can to make the refs call it. And that's what he did. I mean, we didn't really complain as much as we could. We just kept playing the game, and they didn't call it the first time. They called it the second.
Patrick Mahomes earlier on Canty and Carlin here on ESPN Radio, fresh off the Super Bowl 57 victory and the corresponding trip to Disneyland. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio. Back to the NBA. Battle of New York. Knicks and Nets.
Tipped by Hornstein, no good. It's batted out too quickly. He chased it down. He drives, gets stripped. Ball loose to Hart. In the lane, goes to the rim. The scoop. Got it. And the foul. Josh Hart looking to the crowd saying, I represent you. Brunson has scored 36. Up top off the Randall screen against Finney Smith. Stop and go in the lane. The leaner got it. Jalen Brunson with 38 now. Knicks by 14 again.
Torching the switches. I mean, they continually switch, put a bigger defender on Brunson, and he's just using his speed to get by him.
98.7 ESPN New York. Knicks a 124-106 win over the Nets. Knicks snap a 9-game losing streak against Brooklyn. Had been the second longest losing streak against the Nets in team history. Jalen Brunson, 40 points, 5 assists. First Knicks player since Patrick Ewing with multiple 40-point games on 70% shooting in a season is Coach Tom Thibodeau.
The thing with Jalen and he is to go through big moments and have the pressure of winning a national championship together. I think, that ties you together with that group forever. So their bond is special. And the thing I love about what Josh does for the team is it's for the team, everything.
Knicks come away with a win over the Nets on Monday. Hornets a 144-138 win over the Hawks. LaMelo Ball with 30 points and 15 assists. First player in Hornets history with 30 and 15 in a game. Sixers facing Houston. James Harden likes seeing his old team.
Harris with the ball. He's got 9 for the Sixers. Over to Harden. And Jason Tate comes up to guard James Harden. Harden to the lane, lobs it to Paul Reed. No, it's a shot, and it's in. He skipped over the defense. Eason couldn't catch it. Too hot to handle off the bounce by Jason Tate. Here's James back down low with a left-hand layup. Harden is a scoring machine in this game. 28 for Harden plus 10 assists.
97-5, the Fanatic. James Harden, 28 points, 10 assists, 4 straight 20-point games. Sixers beat the Rockets 123-104. Jazz, a 123-117 win over the Pacers. Second win in the last 3 games after losing 3 straight. Cavaliers, 117-109 win over the Spurs. Cavs are now 25-6 at home this season. Best home record in the NBA. Well, what's the future of the Eagles? That's next. SportsCenter All Night continues. It's ESPN Radio.
Coming up Tuesday, I know Super Bowl 57 just ended, but I'll give you my way too early favorites for next season's Super Bowl. That's Tuesday, 6 a.m. Eastern on Keyshawn, J. Will, and we can never forget about Max on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
More SportsCenter All Night. Next.
The Bart and Hahn Show.
We bring in our good friend Sal Palantonio. Do you see Aaron Rodgers? Would you be surprised if he's not a Jet?
Robert Saleh has built a top 5 defense. You don't want to squander that. And the Jets fans deserve to have professional quarterback play. You got a top 5 defense. Help that defense out.
Bart Scott and Alan Hahn. Weekdays at noon on 98.7 ESPN.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems. Listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Ad paid for by Anthem Tax Services. Attention, if you or your business is behind in filing your tax returns, or if you owe over $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The IRS does not joke around and will not stop their collection efforts. If you're tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments and would like to get a fresh start, we can help. Due to the financial hardships in the country, the IRS is making it easier than ever to settle tax problems for those who owe more than $10,000. We can help settle your delinquent tax problems, end all collections, and may even reduce your back taxes significantly. Even if you can't afford to pay your back taxes, you can still get the help you need. We've helped thousands of taxpayers just like you, but you must call 800-261-4608 today to stop your tax problem from getting worse. The information is free and the help is real. Call 800-261-4608. That's 800-261-4608. Again, 800-261-4608.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. Well, it still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it. Or just go to eBay Motors and get it right the first time. When you see the green check, you know that part's going to fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride.
The biggest names, the biggest games. They're all right here. This is 1050 ESPN, New York.
SportsCenter All Night continues with Jay Reynolds.
We're taking you to Key, Jay, and Max. 6 o'clock Eastern time here on ESPN Radio. SportsCenter All Night presented by Progressive Insurance. Tragedy in East Lansing Monday night. A shooter opening fire on the campus at Michigan State. Authorities confirming 3 fatalities, 5 others wounded. Police say the suspect died of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot. Michigan State announcing that all activities on campus, including classes and athletic events, have been canceled for 48 hours. Men's basketball and men's tennis were scheduled to be on campus on Wednesday, but those won't be taking place in the wake of Monday's fatal shooting. New rankings out for men's and women's basketball Monday. UNLV women ranked number 23 in the latest poll. First time they've been ranked since 1994. South Carolina ranked number 1 for the 34th consecutive week. Men's side, Alabama at the top for the first time in 20 years. And then there's the Big 12, which just keeps beating itself up. If a Big 12 team can reach a number 1 line in the tournament, ESPN bracketologist Joe Lenardi?
I think it's the team that's done it more than any other, and that would be the Jayhawks of Kansas. 8 of the last 15 tournaments, more than half, Bill Self has been a 1 seed, and that's not counting the 2020 tournament that wasn't played when they would have been a 9th 1 seed under Bill Self. So I look at Kansas. I'd really like to postpone answering the question until about 6 o'clock Eastern on Saturday night, because then we'll know the winner of the Kansas-Baylor game at the Fog. And Texas, they were in the hunt for a 1 seed, maybe even as soon as tonight. It's hard for me to believe, though, that at the end of the day, whoever emerges in the Big 12 won't be on the top line. Just too many great wins to get there.
Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio. Joe Lenardi mentioning Texas had a shot at a number 1 line heading into Monday. Well, that's all part of Top Sounds as we say hello to Mark Robbins.
Number 5.
Hello there, Jay. We'll get to the court to get things started. As Cleveland goes for a 7th straight win, the Cavs lean on Donovan Mitchell. WTAM in Cleveland.
Here's Mitchell up the right side. Mitchell into the lane. Mitchell floats, and it bounced around the rim and in. Donovan Mitchell with 41. This is his 6th game of 40 or more points. That's why he's going to Salt Lake.
Number 4.
In college basketball from the Big Ten, the Red Raiders of Texas Tech get that final moment of celebration in knocking off 6th-ranked Texas on Learfield.
Free throw around and out. Rebound, Jalen Tyson.
That'll do it. Good night, Texas. The Red Raiders have won 74-67. Upset City Lubbock.
Sports, man, you never know. You just absolutely never know.
Number 3.
Back to the NBA and the Utah Jazz with a big-time closer in Jordan Clarkson on 97.5 The Zone.
Minute to play. Jazz by 2. 115, 113. Clarkson right side on Halliburton. Between the legs. Dancing. Tries with the right hand. Pulls on the baseline. Nailed it. Jordan Clarkson. JC.
Number 2.
Kyrie Irving made his home debut for the Dallas Mavericks on Monday. He did what he could to bring the Mavs back on 97.1 The Eagle.
Irving to his left. Knocked away by Edwards. Irving got it back. Irving in the lane. And finds Ntilikina at the right wing for 3. That's no good. Green the rebound. Out to Irving for 3. Good! With 27.8 seconds, it's a 2-point game.
Number 1.
And finally, with a chance at the end, it's not to be in Big D on 97.1 The Eagle.
Doncic picks it up with 10 seconds. Cross-court Irving on the move. Pumps can't shoot. Right to Luka. Back to Kyrie. Fakes, fly-by. And then to the right. Oh, lost the ball. And it's picked up by Prince. And that'll do it. The game is over. And once again, almost incredibly, the Mavericks unable to get a shot at the rim.
Mavs come up short, although Kyrie Irving did his best in that 4th quarter. He outscored the Timberwolves by himself, 26-24. 11 field goals in the 4th, tied for the most field goals in a 4th quarter by any player over the last quarter of a century. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio.
And the Kansas City Chiefs have won another Super Bowl.
It hurts. We'll use this pain. We'll use this failure for motivation for us.
You either win or you learn. You either win or you learn.
Sports Radio 94 WIP in Philly, giving the bad news that the Eagles had dropped Super Bowl 57 to Kansas City. There is an upside, though, says ESPN Hall of Famer Steve Young.
This is an offense that's built for 2023, 24, 25.
Yeah. Do you want to play
the kind of people that you want. This is the kind of talent. So they're built to last. This is not a one and done. I mean, look, it's hard to come back.
Yes.
But what the Eagles are now and into the future they are set up well to be knocking on the set up base camp, as Bill Walsh said, for the playoffs. But this one hurts because they did everything they wanted to do except one thing, and that was run the football. That's what we knew that they. Jalen Hurts ran the football very effectively, and he was Superman. Look, when they were up 24-14 at halftime, they had to say to themselves, this is going exactly as we planned.
Right.
Except we now need to go to the second half and end this game by draining the clock. And we just couldn't do it. And the Chiefs went down and ran the ball more effectively than the Eagles did.
And the Eagles' defense was essentially what let them down in Super Bowl 57. Personnel there for the upcoming season. ESPN analyst Mina Kimes says changes will come, though.
Job number one is probably going to be replacing both their offensive and defensive coordinator. We'll see what happens. Both defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon and the offensive coordinator Shane Steichen have been associated with head coaching gigs. So those are big shoes to fill on both sides of the ball. Both the Eagles and offense and defense, of course, are very efficient this season. I think replacing Steichen, who did such a fantastic job with Hurts in particular, is going to be a tall task. And then there's the free agents. So many players on the defense in particular are free agents this offseason. James Bradbury, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, T.J. Edwards. The player that stands out to me, though, as being someone who I would really stress bringing back is Javon Hargrave, defensive tackle. One of the quiet superstars of this league, was so impactful on that defensive line at 30 years old. If I was Philadelphia, I'd do anything I can to bring him back. Figure out what you're going to do elsewhere. You got that high draft pick, maybe fix second or add to the secondary there. But I would focus on Hargrave.
Still a good upside for the Eagles heading into next season. Is it chemistry that let them down in the closing seconds on Monday? You'll hear his answer next. Sports Center All Night continues. It's ESPN Radio.
Coming up Tuesday, Jalen Hurts balled out in his first Super Bowl appearance. Yeah, they lost, but I'll tell you why. The Eagles have to pay him. That's Tuesday, 6 a.m. Eastern on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
The top headlines are next on Sports Center All Night.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rothenberg.
If the Jets don't get Aaron Rodgers, I lose my mind, unless you get Lamar Jackson.
Derek Carr's not bad, but I don't know if Derek Carr wants to be a Jet.
What are you doing with Derek Carr?
I think you're a playoff team.
I agree with that. I think you have a real chance to compete for a Super Bowl. Is it crazy to think that your team can compete for the AFC if you add Aaron Rodgers and draft well this offseason?
No, I don't think it's crazy.
DiPietro and Rothenberg, morning 6 to 10 on 98.7 ESPN.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-641-1144. 800-641-1144. That's 800-641-1144.
I never write reviews, but Navage is so amazing, I had to leave one. Nothing's ever cleared out my sinuses as well. I'm blown away by how Navage works. That's a review from Carrie, and it's one of over 100,000 online testimonials praising Navage. I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I've talked about flushing out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, how Navage's powered suction can help you breathe better, and how your nose is the body's air filter, and Navage will clean it out. But don't take my word for it. What do people like Chad say, who wrote, Navage has helped clear out my nasal passages every single night. My wife says my snoring has gone way down. Snorefest be gone, unquote. Navage is the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million customers to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Attention. Per the current government mandate, U.S.-based insurers are now required to cover at-home COVID testing kits with no out-of-pocket fees to you. If you have a current insurance plan, you are eligible to receive up to 8 COVID-19 tests shipped to you each month absolutely free as long as the government mandate is in effect. Just visit yourfreetest.net to register now. That's yourfreetest.net to receive your tests shipped to you at no cost. Go to yourfreetest.net. Medicare insured or not eligible.
1050 ESPN New York. The biggest names and the biggest games. WEPN New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.